So you might be spending a great deal of your marketing time just trying to generate leads. But remember that not all leads are equal. A one-man band business with zero budget should not be treated the same as a 30-user business that hates its incumbent MSP and is desperate to switch now. Let's talk about 3 important criteria you can use to grade every single lead that comes into your MSP. Hey, I'm Paul Green, and don't forget, for all the content, tools, and training to market and grow your MSP, check out MSPmarketingedge.com. Now, I'm sure that this has happened to you at some point in the past. You've had a notification of a new lead into your business, and they want to engage with you, which is great because that makes them a prospect. It's exciting, isn't it, when that happens? And then just before you pick up the phone to call them, you just have a quick look at their website, or you look over the details that they've submitted to you. And your heart kind of sinks because you realize that unless their website is like years out of date, this is a micro business, and therefore they're very unlikely to pay the several $100s or pounds a month that you like your clients to pay. And we all have standards for the kinds of people that we want to work with. Sometimes that is a dollar value. Sometimes it's a type of business. Very often it's down to the mindset of the people that we'll be dealing with. We all have these standards, whether we stand by them every single day or not. I know some days when you're desperate for cash, you will just take on any client that turns up. But long term, you want to get people that are the right fit. So you're a good fit for them and they're a great fit for you. And I'm going to give you 3 suggested criteria that could be a very good way for you to judge the quality of every single lead that comes into your MSP. And the first of those is opportunity and/or urgency. So if someone is still in the middle of a lengthy contract with their incumbent MSP and they're relatively happy, that makes them kind of like a low quality lead today versus them being at the end of a contract or really unhappy, or of course, if they have a massive tech problem that's holding them back now and there's no one that can fix it for them. These are all great leads and they're much higher quality because the more urgency and opportunity there is, the more motivated they are to talk to you, get it really clear in their mind and their heart whether or not they want to hire you and actually take action. The way to assess this, of course, is by asking them opportunity and urgency questions. So open questions such as, are you being looked after by an IT support company right now? When does your contract end? What are the biggest tech headaches or problems in your business right now? Is there something active right now that you need to deal with urgently? What do your staff say about your technology? What do your staff complain about? Now, never be scared to ask these questions when you first start talking to a lead, because you don't always have to jump kind of straight into, tell me about your business, what do you do, what are your growth goals? Those are important questions, but you don't have to do them first. You can immediately establish whether or not they are a quality lead. Don't be afraid to ask them, how many staff do you have, how many devices, that kind of thing. Do you have a budget? Do you have a budget for IT support? How much would you want to spend a month? If they say $12 a month, and they've got 2 devices, it's potentially not a great quality lead for you. Now, the second criteria that you can assess them on is fit. So ask yourself a question. Are they your ideal client or not? Like I said earlier, this is the little bit that you'll compromise on depending on how desperate you are for cash in the business. Although every time I've done that in my 19-year business career, and I've done it many times, I always ended up regretting it. Most MSPs, they never formally sit down and ask themselves, what is a perfect client to us? And this doesn't have to be a difficult process. You can just kind of figure out what types of businesses you love working with, what you want your minimum spend to preferably be every month, and more importantly than anything, what do you really not want to do and what kind of people do you really hate dealing with? If you hate lawyers, don't deal with lawyers, right? If you hate dealing with bespoke software, don't take on manufacturers. If you have no desire to be supporting an EPOS system, an electronic point of sale system like Tills, at 8:30 at night, don't support a restaurant, right? That kind of makes sense, doesn't it, really? So fit's really the easy one. The final criteria is engagement. How engaged are they? How much are they talking to you and engaging in what you do? The more engaged a prospect is, the more likely they are to choose you. If you find yourself constantly doing all the chasing and kind of doing all the work, and it seems a little bit like a one-way process, that makes someone a much lower grade lead. Now, we talk a lot about partnership in the channel, and a true partnership with a client of yours, it has to be a two-way thing. And I truly believe that the way they behave during the sales process is an indication of what kind of client they will be when you're working together. And I really think you mustn't be afraid to walk away from a lead or a prospect that you just have a bad gut feeling about, even if actually their business would be great to have.
Paul Green's MSP Marketing Edge.